Hello, my friends. Welcome to a quick trick record of the day type of thing. My name is Ellsworth, also known as Sammy Staples. Holding it together. Got a lovely breakbeat tune for you today. This is one of my top 5 break tunes that I have on vinyl. Real classic joint, a lot of good moves to it. Check it out. So this is Orbital. The track's called Funny Break, and this is the Plump DJs mix. Plump DJs are they're a group I'm only familiar with through their remix work, but everything I have that's redone by them is fantastic. This is no exception. It's a great tune. It's got some funk to it. It's got some soul to it. Very mixable. Long, broadcasted breakdowns like this. Got a great progression to it if you're mixing long into this. The snares double up and get a little more intense. The little acidy, bubbly bass line swoops in earlier that we heard. Now you can hear just like bongo work coming in, and a lot of just swooping kind of techno noises that are very Orbital-esque are kind of running around the track. It's a great long mixer. It's a good environmental shift. Yeah, really good record, man. Calm down a bit right here before the actual break. Bass line falls out, you hear a little drag upward melody in the background, bringing you into an absolutely beautiful break.
Driving me crazy. Only one love and never two loves, baby. Only one love and never two loves, baby. What is love that's driving me crazy? Only one love and never two loves, baby. Love that's driving me crazy.
Beautiful. Very cool tune. It only uses that vocal in the break, and I'll listen to a couple of breakdowns, but it's not the point of the song. It's just a little oasis in between the funky bits. I really like that. Once again, that little bubbly acid bass line comes back in. Every part of this song is perfectly positioned, you know what I mean? It's segmented, but not in a way that makes everything jarring. It's a cohesive song. It's a cohesive unit, if you will. Definitely one of my favorites. As it breaks down here, you can hear again elements falling away. This is such a mixable tune. Beginning, in or out. It's such a tool, such a gem. I've used this quite a bit to transition in between house or trance or something kind of more 4-beat-esque. into breakbeats is because of how malleable it is, how much you can do with the available tool set you're given. Just switching out bass lines or anything to kind of make that switch perfect, and it really is just masterfully made in that way. I've never had a problem mixing this tune either way. It's just the way it should be done, in my opinion. And it's going to cool out right there. That's going to do it. A little information on this lovely little jam. This is, like I said, this is Orbital. The song's called Funky Break. Funny Break, excuse me. And it's the One Is Enough mix, which is by the Plump DJs. Came out in 2001 on FFRR. And, you know, it's just nice to hear Orbital with your average DJ flexibility to it. Orbital was one of those really big, like almost like super groups of like 90s electronic acts. Like there was these guys, the Chemical Brothers, Crystal Method, the Orb, and a lot of that stuff that would come out if you bought the records. They're great, and you can totally mix them. Obviously, they're not working any kind of crazy time signature or anything like that. But as far as in comparison to stuff that's strictly made for DJs, like this kind of stuff, it's missing some of the bones to really make it, I guess, make it easy. I mean, obviously, it shouldn't always be easy, but when you're given this much landscape to work with, your creativity is your only challenge, what you're going to do with it. Instead of trying to find a way to make it work mathematically, you're just relying on yourself to do the utmost with what you have available, and there's plenty available in songs that are structured like this. So it's nice to hear an Orbital sounding and feeling tune that is very flexible. You know, I mean, it has a lot of the touchstones of Orbital, you know, beautiful vocal to it, and these kind of swooping, almost like hallucinogenic noises. I never really saw them live or anything like that, but there's nobody that came out of the 90s electronic scene that didn't know Orbital. It's just one of the names, like Utah Saints or something like that, you know? It's just part of the backdrop of what we grew up in and what we saw and listened to. So that is going to about do it. A little more history on this one for me, actually, before I let it go. There's like a 3 or 4 part CD set by who else but Decoder, who I will probably talk about a bunch more because I've already talked about him a bunch. He's kind of my, he's one of the people I just can't talk about enough. And he had a mixed CD series out. It was drum and bass mostly, but one of the CDs was breaks. And this was, I think, the second song on that. And I never thought I'd find it. And then a buddy of mine used to run a venue in Danbury, Connecticut. And his downstairs tenant ended up leaving without, I think, fully paying out. I don't want to get into the details of the story because I'm friends with both these people, and I'm not trying to give any false information. But long story short, the guy that owned the venue, old friend of mine, let me pick through his record collection, and I found this in there, and it was one of a handful of tunes I was like, I never thought I'd find this record, you know? And I was pleasantly surprised when I put it on and found out that it was indeed my favorite breaks tune from that Decoder break set. So that's where I got it from. Nice little source material right there. But great tune, great breaks track. I love breaks tracks that are multifaceted. You know, they're funky, but also can be beautiful. There's something about that. It's very accessible. You can play it to people that don't go to parties, don't go to raves, whatever, and they'll still manage to find joy in it. And I think that's a testament of a really great electronic tune, is that it can transcend its own little esoteric medium and become something that anybody can enjoy. And this does that. I hope you agree. I hope you dig it. I'm trying to keep up on doing these videos. I know it's mostly just for me, but the handful of you that watch, I appreciate it. But I'm getting back into class pretty soon, and just kind of going through some personal shifts in my life that are taking some of my attention. So I'll keep chucking them out, but it always helps to hear if you guys like this stuff. So let me know if you're watching. I appreciate it. It means the world to me. And I'll be back soon with something else from that shelf. Peace.